So where did all those COVID funds go? And some of you have asked me. I'm going to show you how 5.3 million went to 4 dodgy companies. And then I'm going to take you through the COVID transaction report, which I came across direct from Treasury. We kick off with the Motus Group. So the Motus Group is a car sales, but also a rental company. The transaction detail for this company is that it was for the rental of vehicles, for the transport of staff and supplies. I do feel that if we had a cost-saving mindset, we would have used the many government vehicles we had. But that's fine. We also have, would you believe, a 195,000 Rand payment to Tammy Taylor Nails, director listed as Melanie Viljoen. If you watch The Devi Show or Carte Blanche, you should know that Melanie Viljoen is embroiled in a whole bunch of scandals. The next payment, which I was quite surprised to see, is to a company called Colleagues. And you wouldn't believe this is a boutique store selling men's clothing in Sandton City. A pair of jeans cost 3,500 Rand. So that's fun. And finally, before I show you the full COVID report, we also gave Konkani Tavern, I believe that translates to a little bit, or a little. We gave them 124,000 Rand. The only thing I can find about this tavern is that it's in the Midlands and that it is taking part in a brutal fruit competition during the month of May. Okay, so before I start off with this report, the quality of this report is shocking. If you filter some of these purchases by paid, not paid, the columns still show evidence of payments. There's no order, but there's payments. The order amount is for 89,000, but the payment is 128,000. If this is the level of reporting the ANC is going to do on the BEE Transformation Fund or the National Health Insurance Fund, then my answer is no. No thanks. I don't want any part of this. So let's just quickly take a look at some of the payments made to suppliers that fall within the top 10 payments. So you should all be familiar with Digital Vibes. There's been many news item on the scandals during COVID with them involved. That cost us 51.9 million Rand. We also paid Ernst & Young a fantastic 15 million Rand. I filtered this from least to most in terms of spend or payments made. So all of these items are medical items sitting with total payments at zero. Hospital beds, protective wear, gloves, coveralls, defibrillators. Still got gloves, lots and lots of gloves. Masks, mattress, monitors. Still, payments zero. Regulators, refills of oxygen, suit scrubs, syringe pump. Our first payment starts at a 40-kilogram refill of oxygen. And we spent 736 Rand on that. Okay, so here's a couple of medical items. I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy. Medical items, yes, we needed this. So if you go right down to the bottom of the list, the largest purchase at 1.2 trillion Rand sits under the field other. You see, this is how our BEE transformation fund is going to be managed. I'm excited. We also have 162 million Rand that sits under the item description 0. Shockingly, we have 161 million Rand sitting under non-PPE COVID-19 related spend items. The fact is, when you're managing 1.7 trillion Rand in a pandemic, you can't put 1.2 trillion Rand under the item description 0 or other. And that is the evidence on how our BEE transformation fund is going to be managed. Looking at supplier details. So I'm just going to scroll through this list and show you exactly how strange this reporting is that we have order amounts of 28,000, but our payment is 0. We also have order amounts of 0, and our payments are 1.8 million Rand for relocations and transport company, sitting under other. African oxygen, tons of purchases, and again, order amount 122,000, payments 0. Or order amount 500,000, payment 3,000 Rand. These are pharmaceuticals and waste removal, chemical world. That makes sense. I'm happy. I mean, we even have a city lodge payment, and you want to get upset until you see it's just 940 Rand. Because yes, at some points there was traveling or lockdown, and we have to take those sorts of things into consideration. 17 million, 7 million, 2 million, 7 million, and 8.5 million paid to Digital Vibes. And it sits under COVID-related consulting services and mass media campaign, which also lists the printing and distribution of 35 million leaflets. We have payments to East Coast Medical, yes. Equal Edge, we have latex, great, happiness. The fact that we paid Digital Vibes all of that money to print leaflets, I wonder if the government knows that there's also a company that does printing called Government Printing Works, and there's a whole bunch of printing related to that. So there's items such as Microsoft Ireland operations, 30 million for software licenses, going through the COVID line item budget, but it's non-PPE COVID related. Every single government department sends Microsoft Ireland software license money in the millions every year. We paid Joburg Expo Center, an expo center for gloves. We paid them 17 million Rand. Printing and Digital Vibes, printing and distribution of 35 million pamphlets. Lots of renovations took place during COVID. We can only presume that that was done for the improvement of hospitals, etc. Mobile devices. and mobile telecommunications for Vodacom, MTN, Telkom, and just a random supplier called Mobile Telecommunications in the millions. Vodacom, 799,000 3 times. More Vodacom here, 569,000. So this is very interesting, supplier details. So when you take a look at the supplier analysis, you can see here, filtering by total payments. This, the Biological and Vaccines Institute of Southern Africa, was for research. Again, 22 million for an order amount of 114 million. Okay, so Ernst & Young, we made total payments, number of orders to, total payments of 12.8 million rand. Executive Aviation, Motus Group, City Lodge Hotels, and still the amounts are reasonable. Total, so order amount, 5 million, total payments, 0. So did the payments happen or not? Because I know we were buying gas. This is where it gets a bit interesting, because this really does show you the mess that is a COVID report and the ability, capability, or capacity of our government to put a simple BI report together. None of these departments run on the same system, even though Cyril has been promising digitization since before the caveman came out the cave. Cyril was thinking of digitization. So the last page of this report is the report detail, and it really is fascinating. So we paid 128,000 Rand to Oliver Devine Interiors, which links to a UK-based company. We bought respirator masks. I think not, guys. I think not. This is pages and pages of chaos. And I'm actually going to make a couple of videos looking at what every single one of the institutions or the government departments bought and charged through the COVID line item. I hope we can find the Konkane Tavern and the very exclusive boutique Santon purchases. Let's just reiterate that our government spent more on other 1.2 trillion Rand than they did on just about all of these medical items. The fact of the matter is, categorizing your invoices cannot even be done properly. And you think you are capable of managing 100 billion Rand BEE transformation fund. But this, guys, is our government. Their inability to put a simple SharePoint site together, and all their sites are run on SharePoint, by the way. I know because I used to do SharePoint. They're a disaster. This highlights the incompetence and lack of capability our government have when it comes to managing funds. Yet they want us to give them more funds. And that isn't a business deal you should be expecting South Africans to participate in. The ANC want the South African taxpayer, us, to give them more money for the BEE Transformation Fund, for the National Health Insurance Fund. There's now a Spaza Shop Fund. There's an SABC license. But this COVID report is a classic example of your inability to keep track of what you spend. And the ANC cannot continue to ask us to fund this incompetency. They are so ignorant about their incompetence that they cannot see the wood from the trees. This report should be illegal. I look forward to seeing your report for the BEE Transformation Fund, because the quality of the data is shocking, very insightful, but shocking. And we South Africans shouldn't accept that when it comes to how our tax money is spent. Make sure to like this video and drop a comment on which institution you'd like me to look into in terms of the transactions made. Share and subscribe if you want to support me. You can also drop me a super thanks. I, of course, would be super thankful. Have a great week. Over and out.